Every hobby has a holy grail. In the world of American currency, it isn't a gold bar or a rare bill. It's a tiny piece of copper that weighs only 3.11 grams. To the uninformed, it's a penny worth 1 cent. To a specialist, the 1909 SVDB is a masterpiece of scandal, a survivor of a political firestorm, and a coin that can command the price of a luxury home. Today, we aren't just looking at a coin. We are performing a forensic audit on the most famous strike in U.S. history. Why did the government try to erase it? And why are collectors in 2026 still obsessed with finding one in their pocket change? 1909 marked the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. President Theodore Roosevelt wanted a coin that reflected America's growing power. So he hired sculptor Victor David Brenner. But Brenner did something that was considered an act of artistic ego at the time. He placed his initials, VDB, at the very bottom of the reverse side. Today, we see artist signatures on everything, but in 1909, the public was outraged. They called it illegal advertising. The Secretary of the Treasury was under so much pressure that he ordered production to stop immediately. The Philadelphia Mint had already pumped out millions, but in San Francisco, the usmint, the presses had barely started. This political stop work order is what created the rarity we hunt today. Only 484,000 were struck before the initials were scrubbed from the dies. Out of the billions of pennies in circulation, this is a statistical needle in a haystack. Because of its fame, the 1909 SVDB is the most forged coin in U.S. history. If you find one, you cannot trust your eyes. You must trust the forensics. Let's look at the S mint mark under 40x magnification. On a genuine 1909 SVDB, the S was hand-punched into the die. There are only 4 known positions. If the S is tilted incorrectly, or if there is a haze around the letter, it's a glued-on S. A common scam where someone takes a regular VDB and adds an S from a different coin. Next, flip it over. Look at the VDB initials. On authentic strikes, the B has a very specific slant, and the periods after the letters are not centered. They are slightly offset. If those periods look like perfect circles, you are holding counterfeit. This is why professional grading is mandatory for this specific year. Now, let's talk about the market value. Why is the range so extreme? A 1909 SVDB in good 4 condition, meaning it's been through thousands of hands and is nearly flat, is still a $1,000 coin. But as we move into the mint state categories, the price doesn't just climb, it explodes. A brown MS 63 specimen might hit $3,000. But if you find an original red MS 65, a coin that looks like it was minted yesterday with its original orange glow, you are looking at $60,000 to $100,000. The survival rate for red 1909 SVDBs is incredibly low because copper oxidizes so easily. Most people in 1909 didn't know how to store them, so they turned brown. Finding a pristine, red survivor is a miracle of preservation. So, is it the most famous coin in history? It has the scandal, the low mintage, and the forensic complexity that collectors crave. It is the king of the Lincoln series. For over a century, it has been the dream of every child and every professional hunter to find that S and those 3 little letters on the back. It represents the ultimate reward for patience and technical knowledge. Whether it's sitting in a museum or a local coin shop, the 1909 SVDB remains the gold standard of American numismatics. Do you have a 1909 SVDB in your collection, or are you still searching? Drop your SVDB stories in the comments, and don't forget to check those old jars of change. You never know what is hiding at the bottom.